Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hey there, kids. How are you doing? Welcome to today's class and welcome to this week's new course that we're going to be going ahead and starting. So, firstly, did you have a look at the submission video? Did it make sense to you on how to go ahead and make your submissions from now on? Did it make sense to you on how to go ahead and do the process of the submission? And if you have understood it, are you going ahead and making the submissions that you have need to and are attending all of the classes that you have to? So that was first thing. Second thing that I want to go ahead and discuss with you is about the certificate program that we've all been discussing about for so long. So as you all know, the certificate program is basically a program wherein you go ahead and get a certificate for the work or the classes that you are attending. So what is the process of getting a certificate? The first thing is that you have to go ahead and attend all of the classes of any course. So today we are starting a fresh course of sketching, and if you go ahead and attend all of the 6 classes, then you have a chance of getting the certificate. The next thing that you also have to do to get the certificate for this sketching course basically is to make all of your submissions for each of the class. So today is the first class, so you won't be able to miss out if you do miss. So make sure you attend all of your classes. So we have 6 classes in this course, plus make sure to make the submission for each of those classes, and in the end you will get a certificate. And what is the value of the certificate? What is the reason we want to give you a certificate? So the value is basically that tomorrow, if you go to school or you go to another college or you go to any institute and someone asks you for an identification of what you have learned, producing a certificate from our end would be so much easier for you to go ahead and tell your teachers or your peers or your friends or whoever you're basically sharing your certificate with as to what you have learned or what you have not learned. So it's wonderful to have a certificate to show what you have gone ahead and done. Also, the reason we want to provide a certificate mainly is a, obviously, to keep you motivated on going ahead and do so. Two, to give you that identification that you would probably go ahead and use later on. And third, and not like the least, is basically giving you a basic and a good like identification of what you have gone ahead and learned. So that will be useful from our end as well as from the person who's receiving it, because what will happen is if we go ahead and produce a certificate saying that you have learned this specific topic, the person who reads it tomorrow will understand what that topic is and understand the skills that you have gone ahead and developed through this course. So it's very important for you as a child to go ahead and have those skills and identify those skills and be able to share to the world what skills you have achieved, and that certificate is basically going to be the provision for the same. So the next thing that I also wanted to discuss is that in each class, like for the submissions, I go ahead and pick the top 10. Now, if you get selected as part of the top 10, then I'm going to be going ahead and giving you personalized feedback, which obviously all of you want, right? So the personalized feedback, the reason I'm going to be giving it mainly is for you to go ahead and get an idea of what you can do better, or what you can improve on, or what you're already doing well, and what skills you can work on further to become better at. For example, if I feel that you're a wonderful artist in terms of coloring or sketching or something on those lines, then what I can do is I can probably give you more tips and tricks on how to go ahead and continue following that stream. So then what will happen is you can go ahead and build up on that, and you will become better and better at it. So the personalized feedback is going to be when you get selected as part of that top 10. So make sure to go ahead and make your submission, get selected as part of the top 10. So be doing your work very, very, very neatly, nicely. Make your submission so that I can see it, and I'm very, very happy to select you and give you your personalized feedback. So that is all about the feedback. Now let's talk about today's course, what we're going to be doing today, what is the whole point of this. Now, obviously, I want to give you an introduction to the course that we're working with today. Now, all of you know that a lot of us go ahead and do sketching. Now, sketching basically is when you're working with an object, subject, whatever it is you're working with, to go ahead and add like textures to it. So for example, if you're adding a mountain, then you will always see that a mountain has light falling from one direction, and you have some texture coming through. So light is basically the medium that gives that idea of how things are working. So basics of sketching is, the whole idea is for you to go ahead and create a platform for you to go ahead and do any sort of thing tomorrow. So today we're going to be working with pencil sketching, wherein we're just going to be using simple pencils to go ahead and do our shading. But tomorrow, the same concept and formulas what you have learned today here, you can use it in painting, in coloring, in sketch pen art, in whatever. So it can be used in multiple ways. We are starting with basics because this is going to be a really simple basic course. So even if you've never heard of this, you've never done this before, you will learn something. If you have attempted this before, then you will improve on your skill, because I'm going to be taking it a little bit things that are not normally taught, or things that you can't really find easily online. So then I'm going to be working on those aspects, and it's going to improve your skin overall in art. It's not just going to be like a sketching course where you learn only sketching. You will learn a lot more, and you can use it later on. So that is what we're going to be doing in the whole course. It's going to be all about sketching and all about pencil work. In terms of what we're going to be doing in today's class, now today's class is going to be sort of like a guide on how to start your sketching. So we're going to talk about pencil, we're going to go ahead and talk about what shading actually is, and we're going to learn how to do shading basically. If you learn how to do the basic concept of shading, then you can go ahead and start doing objects, subjects, whatever it is, so on and so forth, from the next class onwards. So today we're going to do that practice session, that guided session that you're going to learn. So pay attention in today's class, because today's class is very important. If you perfect today's class and you do amazingly well, then from next class onwards you are going to be creating beautiful artworks, and you're going to be doing an amazing job, which obviously I want you to do, right? So please, please, please go ahead, concentrate, make sense of what I'm saying, and we can get started. So first thing that we're going to do is, obviously, we're going to learn about all of the materials that we're using in today's class. So let's get started. The first and foremost thing that you will be using in today's class is going to be a sheet of paper. Now here you can see I have my drawing book. So this is my sketchbook or drawing book that I always use. This is between 100 to 101 150 GSM sheet of paper. If you have a sketchbook, drawing book, anything of that sort with you right away, then you can go ahead and use that. If you do not have any of it, then that's completely all right. You can just go ahead and take any unrolled sheet of paper. If you don't have an unrolled sheet of paper, then you can go ahead and even take a A4 size sheet of paper. All of those three would work. The next thing that you need is a pencil. Now, one thing that I'm going to specifically show you about a pencil, which I definitely want you to notice, is the concept where it is written graphite lead. So this is something that you can go ahead and have information about later, and you can see that it's written 8B. So I'm going to explain this part to you a little bit. So Now, what is the use of a pencil and how important is it? Now, when you're learning sketching or shading or anything, your pencil is your basic tool that you're going ahead and learning sketching with. Now, for a couple of things that is very, very important, try to pick up a dark pencil. Now, here you can see I have taken an 8B pencil over there, but I do not have any specification that you should be using a 6B, 8B, whatever. You can use a normal HB pencil and it will work wonderfully. Just one thing to keep in mind when you're using the pencil, just try to take a pencil that is darker. A lot of the times, when you're writing and you can't see what you have written over there, don't take those pencils. Take a nice, good pencil that you have that you write and it comes nice and dark. That's the first thing that I want you to keep in mind. Second thing that I want you to keep in mind, can you see how my pencil is nice and sharp? So make sure your pencil is sharp. Third thing to keep in mind is you saw that it was written in graphite lead, right? So I want it to be a lead pencil. Make sure it's a lead pencil. You're not using a pen pencil or anything, because you're not going to be able to do this technique with a pen pencil or anything of that kind. Fourth thing, sorry, that I have not showed here but is a very important aspect. You can go ahead and do this technique that I'm teaching you with a pencil, with a color pencil, with crayons as well. These are the three things you can go ahead and do it with. I would suggest pencil is the easiest thing for us to find. It's the easiest thing to practice with. So start off with a pencil. Later you can practice with whatever colors you like, and do a better job with that. So let's continue with this. So what we're going to go ahead and do firstly is we're going to go ahead and start with a couple of hand movements. Now, for our class, we want our hand to be nice and smooth, to be able to rotate well, to be able to move well. A lot of our hands are very stiff a lot of the time, and we do not want our hand to be stiff. We want to, gain control over the pencil. Plus, we want to be able to move our hand well. So for that, we're going to go ahead and do some practice drills, I always call them. So the practice drills basically are taking your pencil, taking a sheet of paper and going ahead and doing some practice curves. So for the first practice curve, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a circle like I was doing right now. And we're going to go ahead and do a circle and over the circle over and over again till you get very comfortable doing it. So have a look as to how I'm doing it right here. So start with a circle and see, I'm very comfortably going ahead and moving my pencil. So I want you to go ahead and do this, and I want you to do this at least 5 times. So you can see I've done one. Now I'm going ahead and doing two. So you can see very, very comfortably going on the same spot many a times. Three. So this is me getting very comfortable with my pencil. Very important drill, so definitely do this. Four and five. So now I'm going to wait here for a second before we move on to the next drill. Make sure you've gone ahead and done 5. Good job, everybody. Very well done. Okay, so everybody has gone ahead and done this. Now you can see already your hand must be feeling a little bit different, already moving pretty well. Let's continue with the rest of them. The next one is going to be a triangle. Now I do not want you to lift your pencil up when we are doing a triangle. So see how I did the triangle right there. Once I put my pencil down, I went up and I went side and I kept going on and on and on and on and on. So do it till you get comfortable. This is a little bit more harder than doing the circle. So you have to practice a little bit more. Don't worry if you mess up 1 or 2 times. That's why we're doing it 5 times, because by the 5th time, you should be able to do it perfectly. So let's continue again 5 times. So you can see even mine is not perfectly right or straight or anything, which is completely normal. You just have to go ahead and practice. That's my third triangle, fourth triangle, and fifth triangle. Perfect. So here I'm going to stop again for a second, just in case you've gone ahead and not done it and you're still running behind. Go ahead and do it right now. It's okay if you don't go ahead and do it perfectly. I have no issues if your triangles are not perfect. Don't worry about it. We're just doing a practice session right here. Well done, everybody. Good job. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. The next one is basically going ahead and doing an infinity symbol. So what is an infinity symbol? An infinity symbol is basically a sleeping 8. So this is how it will be. You'll start from the center, go curve, curve and back. If you do not understand how to do this lying down, then just do a straight 8. That is also completely okay, whichever of the two. But again, start, don't lift up your pencil and go ahead and do it till you get comfortable, and 5 times. Again, if you mess up, no problem, take your time doing this. You do not have to hurry and do anything. So again, 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I've done it 4 times. You can go ahead and do it 5 times. So again, waiting here for you for a second. If you have not gone ahead and done something, or you feel like it was a little too hard, no, I think I need to practice maybe the circle once again, need to practice the triangle once again, need to practice the infinity symbol or the 8 once again, go ahead and do so, no problem whatsoever. Okay, I think everybody is doing a good job. The drills are something that, everybody, once they do it once or twice, they get a hang of it. So excellent job, everybody. Very, very nice. Well done. Okay, so now one thing about the drills before we move on to the next page basically is that the drills can be used before you do any shading class. So for example, in the next class when we sit down to do shading, I may or may not go ahead and teach you how to do the drills again. But before you start the class, make sure you do the drills so that your hand is comfortable. A lot of the time, sometimes you're trying to draw a circle, we're trying to draw a triangle, rectangle, whatever, and we're really struggling. You can use the drills, practice it out, and also go ahead and learn how to do it. Move your hand out a bit, and then you can go ahead and do your drawing. It'll make your hand more smoother and easier to work with. So now, since we're gone ahead and done with the drills, let's understand the concept, the basic concept of shading, which is the concept of a gradation. So let me show you what a gradation is first. Now, a gradation basically is a combination of a couple of shades. Here you can see I'm going ahead and pressing my pencil and getting a really dark patch on my sheet. Now, this is called my dark tone. Now, in the second one, I'm going ahead and pressing a little lighter. I'm not going ahead very, very dark, and you can see this is called my medium tone. Now here, I'm not going to press my pencil at all down. I'm just very lightly go ahead and do a little bit of coloring over there, and that's called my light tone. Now, once I combine these three, I will get my dark, medium, light, and I'm going to do this in one shot. So I'm going to start with dark, press nice and hard and get my dark tone. I'm moving into medium tone where I'm lifting off my pencil a little bit and getting a medium tone. And now I'm going to lift off even more and get a light tone. So this is the basics of any shading. So you can see, like I told you, we have three tones, basically three tones or three shades. We have dark, then we have medium, and then we have light. Now, even when you're coloring, a lot of the times you would have noticed, whether it's color pencils, crayons or something, if you press your pencil very hard or your crayon very hard, you'll get a dark patch. That is your dark tone. The second will be little lighter, you'll get your medium, and more lighter, you'll get your light tone. And if we combine it, that we do it in one stretch, so you're pressing a lot of the time, maybe you're pressing and you're coloring neatly, and then you get tired, and then you press off a little less, you would have actually got a gradation, and you would have done this before. So what we're going to do is, we've learned now what a gradation is. Now this is the basic. We have to go ahead and practice this. So what we're going to do is, in the next line, we're going to go ahead and practice this out. You don't have to have this diagram on top. This was just an explanation for me to show you. Now you can start doing a gradation with me. So let's start. Hold your pencil down, press really. Okay, so I'm just marking the dark, medium, light out so you can see. And now let's start. 5 times, like I'm marking it out here. We're going to do it 5 times. So let's start. Press dark, release a little bit, get your medium, and release a little bit more and get your light tone. Now, this first time, a lot of us may or may not get it, which is completely fine, which is exactly why the whole class is dedicated to only learning this. So, this is the first time. It's okay if you've done a wonderful job. It's okay if you've done a bad job also. Just need to practice this a couple of times. So, step first time done. Let's try the second time. So, this is to press, medium, and light. Perfect. So that's two. Now let's try for the third time. Dark, medium, and light. Let's try for the fourth time. Now And now let's try for the fifth time. Dark, medium, light. If you're confused, I'm not doing it on paper. Those two sequences will be done by you. So I'm just going to wait for you to go ahead and do it. Well done, everybody. I'm seeing everybody's sheets and it's looking wonderful. Great job. Dark, medium, light looking wonderful. Okay. Now, whoever is struggling with it, no problem. We're going to continue practicing this out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a continuous sequence of dark, medium, light. This might be a little hard, but don't worry about it. Take your time to go ahead and do it. We're going to start from one end of the page and move across to all the way to the last end of the page. We're going to do dark, medium, light, dark, medium, light, dark, medium, light. So continuously, no taking breaks in the middle. So let's start. Press, dark, then medium, then light, then dark, medium, and light. Dark, medium, and then 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 light. Dark. Okay, so you can see how beautiful is that looking. Isn't that looking like almost like a sound wave of sorts? And look at how clean it's looking. Now this, like I said, is your basic practice. Once you get this, you can go ahead and do anything specifically. You can do it beautifully. There's nothing to worry about once you get this. So I'm going to wait for a second just in case you did not follow through with me and you have to do it once again. Go ahead and take your time. Go ahead and do it right away. I'm going to then move ahead to the next part of it. So giving everybody like a minute or so to go ahead and do it if you need to. Well done. I'm seeing everybody's sheets. They're looking nice. It's okay if you didn't get it in the first go and you need to do a second time. Please go ahead and do it. Practice makes perfect, like we always say. So go ahead and do it for that second time. It'll look great. Perfect. Everybody's done a good job. All right. So let's move on to the next section, which is again a form of shading only, just that it's going to be a little bit different kind of shading that we're going to move ahead on to. Now, in this part of it, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to basically go ahead and do like a circular motion. Now, I'm going to again start from the top over there and move all the way to the side. Now, remember the first circle we did, right? I'm going to do that same circle, but I'm going to do it in dark, medium, light. So start from the start, dark, medium, and light. So do circles going round and round spirals and do dark, medium, light. So just see how I do it once. I'm going to replay it one more time, and that time you can do it with me. So you can see I'm pressing and I'm getting my nice and dark. Then I'm letting go a little and now I'm started getting my medium, and I'm letting go even more now and I'm getting my light. So now this is a gradation, but in a spiral format. So just have a look at this. This is what we have to go ahead and do. And now let's do it. I'm just going to replay that bit again so you understand how to go ahead and do it. So press and circles, press, 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 medium, very well done, and light. Perfect. Well done. So pretty easy. If you want to go ahead and do it a second time, I'm just going to wait for you for a second. Go ahead and do it for the second time if you like. Good, good, good. Everybody's is looking nice. Well done. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, so for the next one, what you're going to do is you're going to do a zigzag pattern. Now, this you can do with me if you want to. If you don't want to, that's also completely fine. So I'm going to go up and down, but in dark, medium, light. Now here I'm just showing you. Have a look at first what I'm doing, and then you can do it later. So dark, medium, light, but I'm going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what I'm doing. So dark, medium, light, up and down, up and down. Now this I want you to go ahead and do only if you have got a hang of the dark, medium, light earlier. This is just something that is an add-on that you can go ahead and do, going up and down in dark, medium, light. If you have not got a hang of the normal shading itself, don't worry, don't do this. You don't have to do it. It's not a compulsion. This is just something that an extra that I wanted to show you. So I'm just going to go back to this. If you are good at the shading part of it and you want to do it, you can go ahead and do this with me. So we're going to press and we're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. So dark, medium, and light. Again, we're going to go up and we're going to do dark and medium and light. So same thing continuously, we're going to go ahead and do. So this you can just practice one time. You don't have to practice twice or thrice. This is just something that if you have to move around too much in the page, then you can learn how to do this. But none of the drawings are going to require this. So if you know how to do it, good. If you do not know, completely all right. So well done, everybody. I think everybody's sheets are looking perfect and very well done. Okay, so now let's move on to the final segment of today's class, which is basically going to be learning how to shade five squares. Now, the reason we are going to be going ahead and learning the five squares basically is we're going to learn how to shade inside an object or inside a subject. Now, the object that I have picked today is a square. That's going to be our basic. And then from tomorrow onwards, not tomorrow, from the next class onwards, we're going to learn how to go ahead and do other techniques, right? So the next class is going to be techniques. After that, we're going to do several objects and subjects. Now, before we move on to those objects and subjects, which are a little bit more complicated because they're all 3D objects, and so you have to first learn how to do a simple square or a circle, whatever. Today we have picked square. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have five squares on your sheet. Now you can draw them all at one go, or you can go ahead and draw one square at a time when you're going to go ahead and do each of the shading. I'm just going ahead and drawing this one first. And then I'm going to do all of them now. So 2, 3, 4. So I've drawn 4. You can go ahead and draw 5. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, first understand, don't go ahead and do this part by yourself first. Understand what I'm going to do. Now what I'm going to basically do is from each of the sides. For example, let's say I'm going ahead and starting with my left hand side. Starting from my left, I'm going to go ahead and do dark, medium, light all the way till the center. Then I'm going to start from my right hand side and do dark, medium, light in the same box. Then I'm going to start from the top and do dark, medium, light in the same box. I'm going to start from down and do top, medium, dark, medium, light. So in the same manner, what's going to happen is the outsides of my box are going to be dark. Then I'm going to have a medium section, and then in the center of my box is going to be light. So have a look at how I do that first box. Then you can do the first box again with me. I'll show you once again, and then we can do all the other boxes. So starting from the left, pressing my pencils down, starting and doing dark, medium, light. Then starting from the right, dark, medium, light. Starting from the top, we're going to do dark, medium, light. Starting from the bottom, dark, medium, light. So I hope you understood what I meant by that. It was pretty easy, wasn't it? So now let's go ahead and do it together. So take your first box and do it. Start from the left, dark, medium, light. Start from the right, dark, medium, light. Start from the top, dark, medium, light. Start from the bottom, dark, medium, light. Let's do the next box. Start from the side, dark, medium, light. Start from the right, dark, medium, light. Start from the top, dark, medium, light. Start from the bottom, dark, medium, light. Again, start from the left, dark, medium, light. Start from the right, dark, medium, light. Start from the top, dark, medium, and light, and start from the bottom, dark, medium, and light. Now, you would have probably done three boxes right now, and you will have two left to go ahead and do. And you can go ahead and do that as part of your homework bit right before you go ahead and make your submission. So now let's go ahead and discuss everything that we've gone ahead and learned today. Now, in today's class, like you saw, you learned firstly about the pencil. Then we went ahead and learned about what the basic drills are. Once you learned about the basic drills, we went ahead and learned how to go ahead and understand what a gradation was, which is a dark, medium, and light. And then we combined the whole thing together, the three parts. Then we went ahead and did the whole 5 times practice of the dark, medium, light, after which we went ahead and did a practice of the circular dark, medium, light, after which we went ahead and did the curve format that we learned. Now, in all of this, we basically learned how to go ahead and do the concept of dark, medium, light. It made it comfortable for our hand to go ahead and do so that moving on from the next class onward, we can go ahead and do the same thing, but in objects and subjects and whatever we need to go ahead and do it in. So I hope that in today's class, what you learned, you go ahead and continue practicing. You can practice this with colors or you can practice this with crayons. Your submission for today mainly is going to be to submit all these three sheets. So click pictures of all these three sheets and submit it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the top 10, like I told you, about who's done it well. And also I'm going to go ahead and give feedback to those who basically need that, idea of maybe you did this wrong, maybe you did that wrong, maybe you can, correct this out, maybe you can correct that out. So just a little bit of that I'm going to go ahead and also do. So make sure you go ahead and make your submissions properly and on time. If you want to go ahead and do it in colors and also want to submit that out, that's also completely all right. It's just that you have to be able to do the practice of this. In the next class, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to move on to something more fun, wherein I'm going to be teaching you 10 techniques of shading. Now, this was the basic concept of shading, but there are 10 more ways that you can go ahead and do it. So we're going to be discussing that, and after that class, we're going to go ahead and start shading different objects, like 3D objects, sphere, cube, pyramid, so on and so forth. So those are all the things that we're going to move on to. So I hope you enjoyed today's class and it made sense to you on what we went ahead and learned. Please make sure to go ahead and do your submission on time so that you go ahead and get selected as part of that top 10. So have a look at the submission video and see you in the next class. Bye.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at Uolo. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.uolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, Your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at Uolo_app